What's up, Hornets fans, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about one of the most talented players in the league in the face of the franchise, LaMelo Ball. Despite his undeniable skills, there is a harsh reality that needs to be addressed. I'm starting to feel like LaMelo Ball will never win anything in the NBA. In this video, we are going to break down the reasons why I think this. From his constant injuries to his inconsistent play and the harsh reality of playing for one of the worst franchises in the NBA. Let's get right into it. First and foremost, let's talk about LaMelo's biggest issue, his injuries. Over the past few seasons, LaMelo has consistently been sidelined with injuries that have kept him from reaching his full potential, whether it's an ankle injury, a wrist injury, or a nagging other issue. LaMelo has missed a significant amount of time in every season that he has played in. During his third and fourth seasons in the league, he only played a total of 58 out of the possible 164 games. And this season, in year number 5, the injury bug stung him once again. It is very tough and hard to win anything when your best player is never available. LaMelo Ball's injury history is a giant red flag for the future of the Charlotte Hornets. Star players like SGA, Trae Young, and Stephen Curry have managed to stay relatively healthy throughout their careers. LaMelo's injury problems have prevented him from building the consistency needed to be considered among the best point guards and respected as a star in the NBA. Another major issue for LaMelo Ball is the lack of respect he gets from referees. It seems like every superstar in the NBA gets the benefit of the doubt when it comes to fouls, except for LaMelo. The best point guards in the league like Luka Doncic and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander are constantly getting to the free throw line because the referees protect them. LaMelo, on the other hand, has been constantly snubbed when it comes to getting those foul calls. It's frustrating to watch because he drives to the basket with the same aggression as the superstars, yet he doesn't get the same treatment. It's hard to lead a team to victory and win games when you're not getting the calls that should be coming your way, especially as a guard who loves to attack the basket. LaMelo is viewed by the media in such a negative way. The NBA media has largely ignored LaMelo Ball in favor of other young stars like Ja Morant and especially Anthony Edwards. While LaMelo has an enormous fan base and is loved by his supporters, he doesn't seem to get the respect he deserves from around the league. A prime example of this is when he won the 2025 Fan All-Star vote, but coaches and media didn't select him for the game. It's a huge slap in the face for LaMelo, who clearly has the talent to be an all-star, but it shows how the media doesn't seem to value him in the same way that they do with other young players. Without the media backing you, it's hard to get the same recognition needed to become a true superstar in this league, let alone win anything meaningful. Let's not forget the fact that LaMelo Ball plays for one of the most historically bad franchises in the NBA. The Charlotte Hornets. For a player with his talent, being stuck on a team that has struggled for decades is impacting his career. He has never had enough help around him to thrive in the NBA. The Hornets are constantly in rebuild mode, and LaMelo has to carry the weight of the franchise on his shoulders. If the Hornets lose, LaMelo gets the blame, but that's just how talented players are treated. Even with LaMelo, the Hornets have been unable to consistently compete for a playoff spot, and that's not likely to change anytime soon. The Hornets haven't made the playoffs in 10 years, and have made the play-in tournament only twice in the last 5 years. LaMelo could end up being another wasted talent in a franchise that doesn't know how to build a winner. This same thing happened to Kemba Walker. Another issue with LaMelo's game is his shot selection. LaMelo has a lot of potential as a scorer, but he often settles for tough contested shots that he shouldn't be taking. Whether it's his off-balance three-pointers or a wild layup attempt, LaMelo tends to force shots rather than taking what the defense gives him. When the shot goes in, it's great, don't get me wrong, but when he misses, say, his one-legged three-pointer, it just looks stupid. His shot selection can be a huge momentum killer, and it's a reason why the Hornets often struggle to stay in close games. Great players know when to take the right shot and when to pass up the ball, but LaMelo's tendency to chuck up bad shots is something that's holding him back from being an efficient scorer down the stretch. Let's be real, LaMelo isn't exactly known for his defense. While he has flashes of being a capable defender, LaMelo's overall defensive effort leaves a lot to be desired. Whether it's getting caught ball watching, failing to contest shots, or getting blown by his man on the perimeter, LaMelo's defense has been inconsistent at best. In today's NBA, you need to be able to guard multiple positions and provide defensive help when needed. Standing at 6'7", he should be able to do that, but LaMelo's lack of defensive consistency makes him a liability on that end of the floor. Other teams tend to target him late in the fourth quarter. Hypothetically, in a playoff series, his inability to lock down his man would be a major issue and is something that could prevent him from ever winning a championship. In addition to his defense, LaMelo has a bad habit of getting into foul trouble. He's often reaching in, committing silly fouls, and putting his team in a tough spot. On top of that, his effort on the defensive end can sometimes come across as lazy. There are moments when it looks like LaMelo isn't fully engaged, and that lack of intensity can affect his performance overall. Championship teams need players who can give maximum effort on both ends of the floor every single game, and right now, LaMelo Ball isn't showing that he can do that. His inconsistency and tendency to play with a lack of energy might make it impossible for him to ever win a title, no matter how talented he is. It got to a point in a game against Brooklyn where head coach Charles Lee was so tired of LaMelo's turnovers, lack of caring, and bad shots that he was benched for the entire fourth quarter. This game was a very important NBA Cup matchup for both teams, but still, Coach Lee didn't budge and he never put LaMelo Ball in, even when it got close and his team needed him the most. The Hornets ended up losing this game by 1 point. At the end of the day, LaMelo Ball's talent is undeniable, but there are too many factors working against him to believe he will ever win anything significant in the NBA. His injuries, lack of foul calls, poor shot selection, being uncoachable, defensive struggles, and the fact that he plays for one of the worst franchises in NBA history all contribute to a hopeless outlook. Add in the lack of respect from the media and LaMelo's tendency to get lazy at times, it is very hard to see him ever becoming an NBA champion. Unless major changes happen in Charlotte and LaMelo gets the help around him that he deserves, I will never see the Hornets winning a title with LaMelo wearing a Hornets uniform. Let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments below. Is LaMelo talented enough to overcome all of his obstacles, or is he destined for a career full of what could have been moments? Honestly, this video was very hard for me to make because LaMelo is one of my favorite players, but sometimes the delusion wears off and the truth must be told. Make sure you guys don't forget to like and subscribe. Culture is out.